been established, but I do want to say to President Jenkins and to his lovely wife, thank you, Tuskegee University, for it was the university that brought Chief Anderson to this community in the first place. It was Tuskegee University, Mr. President, that made this land available so that we could have a flying program and, of course, this Tuskegee National Historic Park Service for the Tuskegee Airmen. I am honored today as mayor of this great city to greet you on behalf of our city council. And I'm going to ask them to join me. Please join me, the Honorable Mayor Pro Tem Haygood, if he's here, Ms. Georgette White Moon, Council Lady Alla Whitehead, to please join me as well, because I want to, and let's put our hands together to the United States Postal Service. They they've accomplished something very, very great here today. And I can't say enough about the National Park Service. We have the greatest superintendent in the world, Sandy Taylor and Deanna Mitchell and all of their staff. Let's give them a round of applause. We're here today to honor Chief C. Alfred Anderson. Chief Anderson was affectionately known as Chief to so many of us who knew him, loved him, and respected him. He also had a dog named Yo-Yo. And Charles, as you know, Chief would take you up flying, and he would also have Yo-Yo in the back. And if he taught a student, and if they had a bad landing, Carver, the next time they got ready to go up, if it was a bad landing and a rough landing, the dog would not get back in the airplane with that pilot. So the dog was just that sensitive. But when we are honoring Chief Anderson today, but indeed we are honoring all of the Tuskegee Airmen. And so, Bill Campbell, we want to first of all welcome you back home. Let's give him a good old Tuskegee homecoming. Stand up again. There is William Bill Campbell. For on that flight, on that mission on June 2nd, when the Tuskegee Airmen took off from North Italy, in that mission was Colonel Carter, as well as William Wild Bill Campbell. That's what they called his father. And they led that first attack upon the island there in the Mediterranean. And ultimately they took it out by dive bombing. But we want you to know, and you and all of the descendants of the Tuskegee Airmen, how much we love you and respect you. We want today to also ask Charles to come up again and join us. Let's give him another round of applause. The son. Come on in here. Come on in here, Charles.
I gotta just say one thing.
Go ahead.
Yo-Yo would not even fly with me.
Well, Chief, and Charles can tell you, Chief taught so many of us to fly. Charles and I were just remembering at lunch about our first solo flights. And Chief would finally, after spending hours with you, Bill, he would finally say something like, excuse me, I want to get out and go to the bushes or something, right? And that's what he did for me. And then he turns around and said, you're on your own. And most of us would say, please, Chief, we're not ready. But he knew when you were ready. Because if you were not ready, he was not going to risk his plane with you. Right, Charles? Tell him about that story.
Okay, I guess I've shared this story before, but to underscore that point, Dad and I were flying from Vero Beach to Ocala, Florida, in what is known as a weather front. You have really cold air coming up under warm air, and a lot of thunder. You get cumulonimbus clouds, downdrafts, updrafts, thunderstorms, hail, everything. And he didn't mind flying in that. I didn't like flying in it. But nevertheless, I'll make this real quick, but we were, the airport, we were flying on a from heading from Vero Beach to a to heading to Ocala, Florida. And after we, you fly so far on one signal, gets weak, go to the next signal, from to, magnetic compasses. But long story short, we got up to the to heading to Ocala, and now, just try to picture a rodeo, a person riding a bucking bronco. That was the inside of that, I think it was Lima. It was Lima, Cessna 172. And it was simply just up, like we were riding that plane, riding the controls, riding everything. In the midst of all that, we're flying right at the tree levels, because that's where you get the little mesh of the downdrafts, updrafts, when you pilots, that just a little stabilization right there, but you are over the trees. At that point in time, we lost our heading to Ocala. So it just went out, the radio beacon just went off. And so Dad called back to Vero Beach to see what happened. He said, oh yeah, hail just blew all their equipment out. Hailstones, golf ball size hail. That's where we're going. Okay, so I'm there, okay. So at that point in time, God intervened and he says, Bad Bone, that was my nickname. He said, open glove compartment. So what do you need? Get the insurance policy out. Get out. Where is it? Pull it out. Read through it. See what's check and see if if we still got coverage. Thank God I found it with all that writing, even what insurance policy looks like, all those legalese and caveats, sorry, Judge. But in the midst of that, I found out where the term was, and it expired a month early. And I mentioned, I said, it looks like it's expired. He says, it's expired? You sure? Look at it. Yeah. I guess he thought I was lying. I said, okay, we got to turn around. He did not want to lose plane because the hull cover left. But he was, I don't think we might not have ditched, but we're going, that hull cover was still in effect. We'd probably been swimming because those are some serious downdrafts. So when Johnny says he won't let you're ready by the time you take one of his planes up. You're ready to go. Good.
Give him another hand. And here's a true experience of how Chief saved our lives. On July 3rd, 1974, we'd been invited by the state of Alabama to join Governor George Wallace and Senator Ted Kennedy in Decatur, Alabama. And just before getting ready to take off, we had Bill Turner, who was the pilot, and I was the co-pilot, and Smith Williams, our classmate from Tuskegee Institute High School, and Paul Galloway, who was the publicist. Chief came out and he said, how many of you all are going in this plane? This was a hot July day. And as you know, when it's hot, pilots, there's not much lift. And Chief looked at us and he said, and he looked at Smith and he said, how much does he weigh? And Smith weighed about 230, 250. Chief said, you better leave him at home. So we take off down the runway, Bill Turner and I, down the runway, full throttle, Palmer and John Hicks, full throttle, still no lift. We pull back to take up, no lift. We're on a grass runway, and at the end of the runway, trees, Mr. City Manager. That's why I always tell you to cut the trees. At the end of the runway, trees, not enough lift. And so we remember something Chief had told us, because we didn't have enough lift to go over the trees. We simply pulled back, dropped the wing to the left, pulled back. Instead of going up, we just went around the trees and kept on going to the commemoration. But we would have crashed there at Mobile. And so I want to thank you publicly for what your father did to help us. And so, with the power invested in me by our full city council, come Sandy and join us, come Bill and join us, come Postal Service and join us. Where's the administrator from the Postal Service? This is truly a day in honor of Chief Alfred Anderson, because it was Chief Alfred Anderson who kept aviation alive here at Moulton Field and said that we should not stop until we get this place declared as a National Historic Park Site for the Tuskegee Airmen. Chief Anderson is the man who's responsible in many ways to what we are celebrating here today. And so, with the power invested by us as council members and as the city government of Tuskegee, we hereby proclaim this day as Chief Alfred Anderson Day in the city of Tuskegee, Alabama. And we ask all of you to stand on your feet, put your hands together, and let the family of Chief Anderson know how much we appreciate his legacy and what it is